Man, D-Mac, that theme music get me going, man.
Yes, indeed. Every single
I'm
time.
telling you, man. When I hear that music, man, it's like, let's go. I'm like, man, I'm ready for it, man. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Hey, we want to say good evening and thank you to everyone who's in the room with us so far. Salute. God bless you. We're about to have a turn up show tonight. It's on. You are on with D Mac and Big J. Let's go. What you got to say, D?
Well, it's been a real good day. I was watching a little bit of the just some highlights and stuff, man, and I was watching that Pacers and Wizards. Did you see any of those highlights from that Pacer Wizard game?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Doc. No, I didn't. No, I did. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, man. I'm all over the place with this stuff on the internet. Yes, I did. And the thing about
Yeah,
that was, man, I'm gonna let you get at it. The Wizards tick that tail. That lets me know, man, that Charlotte just wasn't ready. Go ahead, D.
yeah, man. Charlotte was not ready at all, and I looked at the Wizards game and playing the Pacers, man. It was like it was a totally different team. It was like they went into Charlotte like Charlotte was a high school team or something like that, and they played with confidence like Charlotte was nobody. So that let me know that they had no respect for the team as a whole, and that goes to the coaching, which leads
Right.
into what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people don't want to. That's what a lot of people don't want to deal with, man. Just like when I read the articles and I'm putting things together, and I see James Borrego coming back, and people are like, "Well, where did you see that at?" It's there, and when I'm looking at it, I'm like, "He's coming back." For example, let me show you something, D. And I know you probably checked this out. Watch this. Do you see this, bruh? And I'm gonna blow it up so you can really check it out. Because this cat right here, man, you see what it says? It says,
Yeah,
"Does this?" Go ahead and tell the people what he's saying.
it
Yeah,
says, "I'll never forget this team. I'll never forget the season this year." I love these guys. I love competing with them. I love growing with them. They make me better. They make me better.
hey, I'll
Mm.
never forget this season either. I'll never
No,
forget
yeah.
this team either. But here's the
But
funny thing, and I'm gonna let you get at it. Did you realize that? I don't know if you saw that article in my last post that I did where James Borrego said he's going to take Lamelo Ball this summer and he's going to put him in his own development system and he's going to get him going and he's going to make him just like the examples of Devontae Graham and Terry Rozier. Did you check that out?
I didn't. I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. What? He's
Yes,
gonna
that's what
take
he's.
them through those
That's what.
two. Those two people right there. If they went through a system of Borregos and what we've seen from them, choking in high pressure situations and disappearing when the team needs them, that's not what Melo needs.
Right. Go ahead. Tell me what you found out, man, because I'm trying to get an understanding on this and I haven't gotten it yet, and we're trying to get there. Go ahead, Doc.
Well, this is based on some research I did today because I said, if I'm going to really, really do some justice in discussing this Borrego thing, let me look over his coaching career and see what type of performance he's had as a coach. And
Right.
so I was looking, man, and from 2001 all the way up to the present, this is what I got. All right, so from 2001 to 2003, he was an assistant coach at San Diego, the college that he went to. Then from '03 to 2010, he was assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs. Well, then in 2010, he left and went to the New Orleans Hornets. Remember when the Hornets went to New Orleans? Well,
Right.
he became an assistant coach for the New Orleans Hornets. He was there for 2 years. Then he went on to Orlando Magic for 3 years. Now, when he was in Orlando, he was their assistant coach, but then they made him the interim coach whenever the head coach at that time got fired. So
Right.
I'm wondering, a question came up to me. They made him the interim coach. If he was that good, why didn't they make him the head coach then?
Right.
But they didn't. And
Right.
so from 2015 to 2018, he went back to the Spurs under Popovich. and then in 18
Didn't know that. I
he
did
got
not
the
know
head
that.
coaching job with the Hornets.
Yeah, I didn't
So
know that.
so what I've learned from him, most of his success came when he was an assistant coach. And
Wow.
some people are great at one thing and you try to elevate them to another and it don't work out. Maybe James Borrego was just a great assistant coach and
Right.
they're trying to make him be a head coach and that's not his place.
Well, I'm gonna be
Because all the systems that he was in,
right.
they had success when somebody else was calling the shots.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man, and no one has captured this yet, but we're gonna capture it this tonight on this show. Hear me. What I'm about to say. The whole Charlotte system is scripted. The
Mm,
entire system is scripted, from Mitch
mm-hmm.
Kupchak, from
Yeah.
on down is scripted. Let me prove my point. We remember when Miles Bridges, right? When
Mm-hmm.
Miles when Miles went through his little thing after the game, and I did my show about his fist being clenched, and he looked like he wanted to fight, but it represents that he said we choked. Now you heard everything he said in the interview after that, right? Watch this. What
Mm-hmm.
Miles said. Now listen. I'm telling you, man. These guys are scripted from Michael Jordan, and he's making the moves and telling individuals what's going to go on. Watch what he says now. We have fun. We had fun this season. I love this group of guys. I wouldn't trade them for the world. I'll run it back with the same team. I feel like we'll have a better chance of making the playoffs next year. What that just tells you, fans, and what that just tells you, listeners, that this team is being scripted from the top, and it only has a partial element of James Borrego. I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you, it's there, man. They're being scripted from the top. And that's the sad point, because no one's making or telling the truth, because these guys, listen to the things they're saying. Go ahead, D.
Yeah,
Woo.
they're saying a lot of stuff that's not lining up with what's going on in the front office and the activity that's being seen on social media and stuff like that. You
Yes.
know, guys will be like we say, politically correct. They don't want to say anything that's going to stir up any controversy or anything like that. So they're going to
Facts.
say those scripted things
Facts.
given to them, and just
Facts.
keep media down off of the case while they do their inside stuff. So.
Yes, they're being scripted. Watch what PJ Washington said. I'm telling you, man, this all just blew me away, Doc, when I'm reading the comments today. PJ said, obviously, I want to make a big jump next year. So it's all cats, they're not going anywhere. They're not going to be traded. Nothing's going to happen. They're excited about this, man. Hold on, let me get Taufik in. And what they're doing, man, they're making a
On
big
top.
deal out of all this stuff when there's no reality, man. That's the part that's a trip to me. And that I'm telling you, this whole, and Nine said it, man. This team is scripted to do what they're doing, and it's so unfortunate. It's bad. Go ahead, Taufik.
I think it's more than just a scripting thing, because you mentioned one thing in the last stream I joined. On your stream, you mentioned something about a sense of mindset. If you've always done what you've always done, you always have
Right,
what you.
right,
And that's the thing with Charlotte. Like, it's a mindset problem. Like, and it's not just the organization, the GM, the fans. Like, I'm not gonna blame all the fans. There are fans that are waking up from the delusion, but
right.
there's fans um, deep in the sunken place, that they still can't open their eyes and see that they're still in that bullshit.
And watch
Like,
this.
like
Watch this. Look. Go ahead. Go ahead.
the thing is, the mindset starts with Jordan.
Right,
Like, the front, like the Hornets are a terrible team because of Jordan.
right,
Like, you see, like, even the title, Jordan is ripping his team apart, is because mentality is still back in the olden days, where players have to bust their ass off for everything.
right.
Whereas now, players are given the keys and they have to prove themselves. There's a difference. Before is they have to earn it. Now they have to prove that they're worth being given that key.
So what you're
Being
saying, what you're saying, they have a time limit that they've been given to prove themselves. Then after that time limit, if they don't prove themselves, then they have to go. I couldn't be in that system, man. What say
no,
you,
no,
D?
that's I'm saying that that's how the NBA has evolved.
Right,
But
right,
when it comes to like this team, their
yeah,
mindset was stuck in the era of when Jordan was playing, when
right,
players had to earn everything. So
right.
Jordan brought that same mindset to this team, and it's ruining the damn team. And
Well, I want to
Go.
piggyback a little bit off of that, man, because me being from North Carolina and when the Charlotte Hornets first came to Charlotte, um, the people of Charlotte were so excited, man. We loved the Hornets with everything in us. And then when they left and went to New Orleans, that was like when LeBron left the Cavaliers. You know, there was a bad taste in Charlotte's mouth when the Hornets went to New Orleans, and then
Right.
we got the Bobcats, and they tried to resurge. It didn't work out, and then the Hornets ended up coming back to Charlotte. So now I think people have gotten caught up in this nostalgia of the old Charlotte Hornet team and the old
Facts.
glory of the Hornets, and they wanted so much for this new Hornets team that they're getting kind of delusional sometimes.
exactly, you just said it. Their mindset is still stuck in the past, while in the
Yeah.
present, players have to prove that they are worthy of handling the responsibility of being a franchise superstar. The thing is that, like you said it, that they still think that they're the old Charlotte Hornets where they were used to make the playoffs. Like, come on, the last time they ever made the playoffs, 2016.
Hmm.
Last time they ever make it past the first round, 2002
Yeah.
playoff.
Let me
Like,
give you guys a good point. Let me hold on, Tuffy. Let me give you
oh,
guys a good point. Hold on a second. Let me give you a good point. I don't want to wait 20 years for another Kwame Brown type of blow up. For one of these players on this Charlotte Hornets team right now, 20 years from now, is going to be pissed off about how Michael Jordan dictated the team, what Mike
you
did to us.
know,
I want to know what's going on right now. See,
you
because
know,
and Kwame Brown is right, man. How much does an
you know,
individual have to be affected? And Tafik is right. You know why? Because it's a mental thing. And
Mhm.
everything that this 17-year-old kid talked about was done to him mentally to where he couldn't talk for himself. That goes back to me seeing Michael Jordan slap Malik Monk up beside the head. That's a control factor, man. And if you know, watch this. On all
okay.
those pictures, if on all those pictures you see on Twitter, right? About
Mhm.
what Jordan has scripted these players to say. The only player you don't see on there is who? Graham.
Mhm.
Well, the thing is, Graham is the coach pet peeve. Like, you already know that he's gonna get every shot he wants, everything. So I'm not surprised that Borrego is gonna come back next year. I'm not surprised because the team doesn't have the mindset of winners. Like, it even said so. Like I'm gonna even explain it through Miles Bridges' own words. When they lost to the Pacers, because the Pacers got smacked even worse by the Wizards, but we're not
Exactly.
going to.
Facts.
But the thing is, Miles Bridges said they played like a they played like they want to make the playoffs when and we didn't. You see the thing.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
think that Miles Bridges have the tendency to be another Kwame Brown who would have the confidence to speak for himself. The
Right.
problem, the thing I want with him is that yes, you're Lamelo's sidekick on the court. You're the only one that believes in Lamelo. Like, out of everybody on the team, Miles Bridges is the only one to address Lamelo's injury. Even like he's the only one that expressed that and during the interview that he knew that Lamelo was playing hurt. Everybody on that team didn't address it. The coach didn't.
Let me
That's
Like,
get Joe
facts.
news.
Lamelo was playing
Uh,
hurt.
what Joe say? He said, "Yo, Big J, y'all gonna do a video about Kwame giving respect to LeVar."
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we
let's
was
address that. Let's address that.
Yeah,
Hold on
we
one
was talking
second.
about that
Go ahead, D.
earlier because in another video that we did before, we basically were talking about LeVar being a mentor for the guys coming into the league and stuff like that, especially these guys coming from high school straight into the league or things like that. And Kwame Brown just turned around and said basically exactly what we were saying. He said if he had a LeVar Ball in his life, then a whole lot of things would have went different in his career.
No,
And it just
Kwame was saying that fathers are protectors, and the thing is that he didn't have that father figure to protect him from all
mhm,
the type of hate, unnecessary hate, because he said that LeVar is out here taking the hit for his own kids, so he's
mhm.
not letting his kids speak out for themselves because he knows what the media is really pushing out.
Let's go
They
back.
know
Let's
he's
go back a
gonna
little bit. Hold
destroy
on,
the
gentlemen.
family.
Let's go back a
He's
little bit.
gonna
Let's go
destroy
back
the
to the
family.
point. Hold on. Let's go back to where.
Let's not go back to the team, the
But
mindset. We're
hold on one
talking
second.
about Miles
Hold on one
Bridges.
second. Right. Hold on one second. Let me deal with this
Okay.
because this those in the room is very important because they make this cycle spin. Let me tell you this: that Kwame Brown. Let's all go back to when he came into the league. Allow yourself to be 17 years old and allow yourself to come into a league to where you're among stars now that you've heard about, that you've watched. And now these stars are pointing you out and they're pointing fingers. And as a 17-year-old young man without a father, without someone teaching you how to deal with the world and what's really going on, I can imagine what this young man went through. So 20 years later, the Bible says this: as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. So what you see Kwame doing now, he's doing and telling the truth. He's telling the truth about what these guys did. And that's no one has done because the corporate dollar speaks volume. So if you look at it, LeVar Ball was an injury to corporate America because he had his own ideologies, he had his own thoughts, he had his own mind. And in the world we live in, no one wants you to be subjective to your own thoughts and your own mind based on a sense of control. It's called conversive control. Go ahead.
I think like LeVar showed us that you don't need to be around somebody to really make a pathway for success. Because the thing is, that's one thing. Uh, because Kwame Brown is saying that they're trying to tear down the family. Like you can watch it live when he was talking about LeVar, that LeVar is doing the right thing. Like he's taking the hit for his kids and all that because he's not letting his kids express themselves because he knows they have an agenda against them. Now I know many shines will be like, well, they don't. How do they have an agenda? How does the media have an agenda towards the Ball family? It's that simple. Think about it. LaMelo's a bust. Just after game one after his first NBA game. Then he's not gonna make it to the league. Then he's a diva, a poser, like all kind of names.
But it's really bigger than that, Tawfiq. Let me tell you why. Because we have to look at everything start from a corporate perspective. Just like many,
Hmm.
many, many years ago, everything started in the cotton field. I have to be honest and I have to be true. I'm a little bit older, I think, than both of you. So I'm gonna speak from experience. Again, everything started from a cotton field. Now everything starts from a perspective of economics. Look at all the people on YouTube who are talking about Kwame Brown. I'm talking about people who are not part of polarization or colorization, who are capitalizing on his statements by now talking about Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson and Stephen A. Smith. Individuals are capitalizing. So what am I saying? This is what I'm saying. Everything starts with corporate dollars. And what Kwame Brown is doing, he's saying this because LeVar Ball had his own narrative, his own creation. Corporate America could not deal with it. This is why with the JBA, the NBA came out with what? It came out with the G League playing players now what? $100,000. Why? Because LeVar Ball JBA and
Wait,
says you don't have to go to college.
the thing is, he wanted to sponsor the JBA, but LeVar said he doesn't want to be controlled, and he's like, "We're good. we're gonna fund everything ourselves by our own hands. That's the thing. Because LeVar knew that you gotta have a ruling class mentality, not a not a following class mentality where you have to follow the herd.
And it's the
anytime
truth.
you anytime you don't follow their script and follow their guidelines, they're going to discredit you. They're going to demonize, discredit, and then at some point get rid of you. And the
Right.
demonizing and the discrediting is going to make it okay in front of everybody else because they're
Facts.
going to see you in a negative light. And
Facts.
so they continue to do this every single time with everybody who gets out of line with them. They'll demonize them, discredit them, and destroy them.
Right. Fact. See, I'm not with Kame's Brown rhetoric through the verbiage of the language. I'm not with that. But I am with
Mhm.
the points and the principles that he's standing for, which suggest doing the right thing as a group of people. And what I mean by that, I don't mean a group of African Americans. I'm talking about from an economic perspective, to where there's a group of people who are all sheltered in the same place and a position. But for another man to denigrate another man, I agree with him, because what he's saying, that men should stand on. For example, I'm telling you what the root of all of this is, Michael Jordan. I'm sorry. If he's listening to it right now, I would say, Mike, you're the problem. And to be honest, it is Mike who has the stigmatism of a person with inconsistencies and a personality disorder because of weakness. Anytime you reach a certain plateau of life and you get money, sometimes money is a conduit for a person who can't really deal with themselves. So what do? They take the arena to exploit other individuals because they have the power. What is power? Money.
Oh, and to even mention that, do you know that the Hornets wanted to get Daniel Theis, of all people, when you needed a center with championship experience like
My point.
McGee or Montrezl Harrell, you
Yes,
want
sir.
a miniature center because you want to trade from like a dollar store or Dollar Tree because you don't want to go out here and go to Walmart and go and get a real big man
Mm.
that can help you.
Another Another thing that I noticed about Jordan, why would he pick Borrego? Because I'm looking at Borrego's record as a coach, and in
Point.
any of the seasons or any of the teams that he coached with, he was never over 500, not once. And they always missed the playoffs with Orlando and with the Hornets twice. He's come up
I've
short,
read
under
entire
500.
biography on thing, and the thing is, when it comes to his coaching, the first coaching gig, like as a head coach, I'm gonna excuse that. I'm gonna
Why?
excuse. Here's why: because he didn't get enough experience. The second
Mm,
the second coaching gig, because you see, when you're a rookie coach, I try to feel sympathetic to rookie coaches because they're still young and they're trying to develop. But after season one, if you're in season three and you're not at least showing that you're improving, come on, man, just
Watch
get
this.
out.
Watch this. Let me help you.
He's not improving.
Let me
He's
help you, because I'm with you, D Mac. Let me help you. What do individuals who are passive aggressive, where there's no bounds or no sense of true manhood, and individuals are very weak, what do they tend to lean on to capitalize on other people? And I shouldn't even have to answer it. Money, economics. And we go back to the cotton field. What was it that they leaned on, and who? What? It's the same thing. So LeVar Ball says that you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to take my sons. My sons will be great NBA players. This is why they won't let LiAngelo play. Because if you let LiAngelo play, then that proves this man right. And they don't want, whoever the they is, it's not a color, it's economics. And they don't want LeVar to be proven right. Go ahead, D
Let me
Mac.
get Joe Nuke. Let me get Joe Nuke. He says facts. LeVar shook up the NBA world. Now athletes don't need to go to college anymore. They can go straight into the NBA. But you got to be careful with that because, yeah, LeVar took his sons and his sons were an example, but those were young men who had that positive male role model to guide them the entire way. So we can't leave that out of this scenario because God just see going straight into the NBA, and they're not thinking that these young dudes had guidance. They had a father to make sure they didn't make those missteps and all that stuff. So I want people to understand that if you're going to try to go from high school straight to the NBA, make sure you have somebody that's guiding you along the way so you don't get caught up like a
Facts.
Kwame and have that chip on your shoulder.
That is true, because it's funny how the only mentor LaMelo has, the only true mentor LaMelo has on the team,
JJ. Yes, sir.
Bridges.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not.
true.
Everybody
That's
else
true.
on that team, I don't even think they're there. Hayward, who was so paid to be the leader on the damn team, I don't see him on the timeout box with JB and coaching the team, because
Did you
he's
guys?
supposed to be taking Devontae's spot whenever the coaches call a timeout and coach the damn team.
And this is
That's what
what
I
I'm saying,
want to see
Taufik.
Hayward do, because that's
This
what he's paid for.
this is what I'm saying. Did you guys see Lamelo Ball's exit interview? There was no
Yeah.
energy. He was just like, "I'm here, man." That's why I want to tell you. I want to know 20 years from now, what are these guys going to say about MJ and the Charlotte Hornets? See, because watch this. It took that young man 20 years to get all this off his chest. So much that he's on there every 3 or 4 hours putting out a video. And people say it's just about economics and money. It's not. That dude was hurt, man. That dude was injured. That dude was damaged. Then you have Charlemagne, who went up and pulled up that man's information about his brother and his father being in prison. He said, I wasn't raised a part of that. He said, everything that I have came from a woman, came from my mother. But you have these individuals who want to exploit individuals because they can get more money. And Michael Jordan is no better. So you can see what Kwame Brown is talking about. He really wants to capitalize on it, but he can't, because he still has a respect for Jordan and all this mess.
But
What do you? What,
here's the thing, like, you're talking about what would the players think of Jordan in about 20 years. I think they would have a positive mind, thinking to Jordan, because their mindset is getting affected by Jordan. Think about it. Who pays the checks? Who pays the paychecks
yeah,
for
but
everybody?
but Tafe, that don't mean your mind fake. No, man, I agree
I'm
to
getting to the
disagree.
relevant, I'm getting to the relevant stuff here. Jordan pays the checks. So obviously everything that goes on the team, it revolves through him. So if you want to blame anybody for the team being underwhelming for centuries, it's his fault. I can blame JB all year. It's his fault.
True.
Think
Facts.
about it. Why is it that whenever the team announces starting lineup, it's not until it takes a long time before they announce it. And it's not until Mitch and Jordan actually have a sign yes to it before they release it to the public. Think about it.
Seems like to me that that JB is just a figurehead and he's really an assistant coach still.
Facts.
That's what
No,
it sounds like to me.
like I tell you guys earlier, JB is just a hype man. And he's just hyping. He's just a hype man. He's just a hype man on the damn team. He's just hyping
True.
the damn team up. So
Right.
whatever he hypes, because what hype man do is that when they hype up a music, whoever is around them, they spread that energy to them. So that's why you see his tactics on the court, his rotations, is trash, because the mindset from the front office is trash. Starting with Jordan.
So what type of development? What type of development course is Borrego talking about taking Melo through? I don't see anything that he can do to help LaMelo's game at all. There's nothing Borrego can do, and really all they can do is the best thing they can do is protect Melo and let him develop his game. He knows what to do. He has trainers to guide him on what to do. And Borrego needs to get out of the way. What development? What is he going to develop in LaMelo Ball?
Watch this, gentlemen. Watch this. Watch this. Where did it go? Okay, here it is.
I remember that. Slap Malik Monk in the head. I remember that.
Hold on, watch this. Okay, the video is not available. Yeah, but go ahead, Tafiq, speak on it.
I see that play. Malik Monk made a dumb play in that play. He made a dump. He made a pass out of bounds, and Jordan was like, "What kind of shit is that?" And then slap him in the head.
But see,
So
this is my point. See, I think we're missing a lot to what Kwame Brown is really saying. We're missing a
no, the
lot.
thing is
Did he?
this is the thing I see with Jordan. He's
Hey,
having
Martina.
he's having a battle in his mind. There's two sides to it. The thing with Jordan is that he has a winning mentality, but he's not showing the winning mentality. So instead, he's showing the losing side of the mentality. So the win is winning mindset where his glory days as a player is coming out. He's it's fighting with him and his terrible GM skills when he was being the GM of the Wizards. So both are fighting with each other. So
See,
it's
the thing is this. Then I'm gonna let you read the comment, D. Here and what you're saying, Taufik, is right, man. Taufik, but what we have to look at, MJ has problems as a person, as a player. He was
yeah.
dominant, and see, that's sometimes what we cannot do. We cannot separate humanism from basketball. We cannot
Mm.
separate what's reality from basketball. As a basketball player, he was amazing. But remember, he was an entertainer. What these individuals do on the court is to entertain. But in most of them, in their real life, they've been married 3 or 4 times. They're messed up. They have a mirage of kids. So a lot of these guys are messed up. That's why you, as an owner, would slap another man in the back of the head like he's a child. Do you see what I'm saying? Something is missing in a lot of these guys, and that's what Kwame Brown was saying. Man, these, and I don't want to say the people who pointed out, and they made a mockery of him. So I see why he's upset. Stephen A. Smith went on a rant about this kid, man, and they made a mockery of him. So now, being a man, guess what he gets to do? He gets to talk back. He gets to expose these cats. Go ahead, D-Mac, read that for me.
Joe Nuke said, I want to ask y'all this. Do you really think any up and coming star player will ever be able to thrive under Jordan? Because history tells us no, but LaMelo's determination tells us yes. I think guys will be able to thrive under Jordan if they have a coach that'll protect the players. There's a lot of teams, say like the Clippers back when Donald Sterling was on in them. There was a lot of times where the coach had to protect the players from the owner. We know what that issue was with him, and there was a lot of times I bet you where the coach had to go in and settle some things down because of a comment that was made or whatever the case may be. But you have to have a coach that's willing to be that go between to keep the higher ups and the players to be that line of communication between them. But if there's an issue, to also be that liaison to try to fix it. And so if you don't have a coach who's able to balance those two things and understand both sides like that, then there's always going to be a disconnect with that team. Now, Thunder Rain said they need to develop a defensive system that works. Their trainers and big man coaches are trash. Yeah,
But
that's why I said bring it.
before we address that, I want BJ and BJ to also answer the question earlier too before I bring my point in.
Which one? Which one, Todd?
The one about do you think any superstar would thrive under Jordan?
Well, let me
That
give you my honest opinion. Michael Jordan is a different person than he is or was as a player. You have to understand what he did. He went back and he captured where? North Carolina. You have to remember everything his life was about was what? North Carolina.
Yeah.
But to put him in a position of being an owner over or someone else, he's very childish. He's very childish in the things he says. Now, what most people respect is the economics. But as far as an individual that other people will want to play for, who are superstars, I don't see it happening. And to be honest with you, because LeVar Ball is a male and a man and a dad and a real person with one wife and all these other things, I have to tell the truth. Guess what? His son won't be there after his rookie contract is over. This is me. The market is a small market. All right, and the team does not do anything to accelerate the pace of success. They're stuck in his time warp, which says, I'm North Carolina and I'm going to control what goes on. It's like that little kid in the sandbox who tells other kids, no, you can't play with my toys. No, I wouldn't do it.
Well, why didn't he go back to Chicago and coach?
My response to that question is that I could agree with Jay and say that the issue is that Jordan's mindset is problematic and it will hurt any star. Because I would even like to address the fact that this free agency, the Hornets wants to promote Airbnb that they took off the playbook during the regular season. Imagine if they put it during the regular season and you will see more players be interested. Like, think about it. The first meeting with Joel Embiid and what did Doc Rivers say about LaMelo? I would love to coach LaMelo.
Mm-hmm.
What did Scott Brooks say about LaMelo? I would like to have a father like LeVar. I wish I had a father like LeVar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There are many coaches, even the Utah Jazz would love to have LaMelo.
Everybody would. He's so coachable, man.
James Dolan, because I know we called him out on his player tampering earlier with his yes he do Melo reply with Melo in a Knicks jersey to Melo's tweet. But yes, even James Dolan head ass would pull a trigger trade ASAP for LaMelo.
If he
wants
coming.
Let me get Rashad real quick. He said the Hornets need to hire Mark Jackson or Mike D'Antoni, sign Lonzo Ball, sign LiAngelo Ball, bring back Dwight Howard, and sign JaVale McGee.
Rashad, my guy. Like, listen, Lonzo will not work in Charlotte, especially with that positionless crap. Lonzo does fit with Borrego. Now, hear me out. Lonzo does fit with Borrego because he's what Borrego needs. A traditional playmaker.
Right, facts.
Someone that can pass the rock. But here's where the issue is. Lonzo will come off the bench.
Whoa.
That's the problem.
And that would be as long as Borrego's holding on to long as he's holding on to
one guy, Graham is on that team, Lonzo will come off the bench.
Devontae, long as Devontae is there, nothing is gonna work. As long as he's trying to stick that square peg into a round hole, it ain't gonna work.
Jello can work because all you need Jello to do is score, but you already signed Hayward, so I'm not sure how that's gonna be. McGee, Dwight, I prefer Montrez, man. Like, Montrez, as miniature as he is, he's got heart. He's an enforcer. He fits everything Charlotte needs, and he will fix what Charlotte needs. Not a 6'8" center that's gonna be fit for like a small forward.
Hey, Tafiq, let's do this. Let's deal with these comments from the room, and I'll tell you why.
Let's comment. My bad.
Yeah, the comments. These guys, they're saying some things that are relative. Watch this. Watch what Thunder says. They need to develop a defensive system that works. Their trainers and their coaches are trash. But watch this. Now watch what Richard says. The Hornets needs to hire Mark Jackson or Mike D'Antoni. Sign Lonzo and sign LiAngelo. Bring back Dwight Howard and sign JaVale McGee. What is the problem, gentlemen, with these statements? What is the problem?
I like JaVale. I wouldn't bring Dwight Howard. I've always said Dwight Howard was the softest big man in the world. I would definitely bring JaVale McGee. He has a lot more to offer. You're not going to pay as much for McGee because he's only got a few more years in him, and he'll be able to mentor those young centers that you already have. And so you won't really have to worry about a coach for the big man because you'll have a big man that's been in the championship and know what to do to get them guys right.
Jay, I actually agree with D-Man because the thing is, you also know what that fixes? It fixes the height depth at the center position. Because, like, let me statistic. Do you know that the Hornets have throughout the season was a much more better team when they run their big lineup with Lamelo playing point guard. They have Hayward at the 4, not the 3, the 4 when they play big. They
Yeah, but the
have
thing is
more
that
wins than
yeah,
losses when they play big
Todd,
instead of
the,
playing that positionless crap.
the thing what I was trying to say about their comments are true because no matter what we want, no matter what we wish, no matter what we talk about, the script that's given Charlotte is never going to change. James Borrego just let us know, and he threw it in our face. I'm coming back. Ha 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 ha
No.
ha. No matter what I did, and
Let,
then
let me,
Mitch
let me make,
Kupchak got on. Hold on,
I'm gonna
hold
make
on,
that
hold
one.
on,
I'm gonna make
hold on,
that
hold
one.
on, hold on.
But
And then hold
make,
on,
you're
Mitch
cook
Kupchak
up.
got on
Sorry.
there. Hold on, Mitch Kupchak got on
Cook
there and confirmed the same thing. So we can want all this, we can wish all this. It's just never gonna
up.
happen. So what do we do as the fan?
Do you know that Kupchak even said that their JB did a good job after making them lose 6 games in a row plus a playing tournament?
Yeah, to a
I'm
team
like,
that
to
just
a
got
team
thumped
that
by Washington.
they lost 4 games. They were having 4 players out, and y'all
I mean,
had
but
only
that's Borrego's. That's his mo though. All of his seasons that he's been a head coach, he's missed the playoffs. He's never been over 500 as a head coach.
And that
So
goes
this
back
is
to
this
go.
this
Yeah,
just
right.
falls in line with what he's
but
been doing.
And that,
the
hold on one
first
second. And what that does, it goes back to this. It goes
season,
back to it. Go ahead, Toffee. Go ahead.
the
Go
first
ahead.
season I did because I I see potential in a coach like this. As young as he is, I see potential. But the problem with him is that he needs to break out of the mindset that Jordan has. You need to be taking risks. What I want to see from Borrego, yes, you're given a second chance, but what I want to see, scrap for your players.
Taufik, let me ask you a question,
Have
man.
that
Let's be
confidence.
real. Hold on, let me ask you a question. You say take risks, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
How long are you
Mhm.
going to give a person a chance to prove that they're willing to take a risk? Let's say, man, you were walking home and I picked you up, and I keep passing your house. What are you going to say to me?
You keep passing my house.
And
I'm
you
like,
want to go
why?
home? You got to use the bathroom, and I keep passing your house. What are you going to tell me?
Why the hell are you here? Why are you
Exactly.
still here?
Facts. Facts. We need a new driver, man. Don't you get it? Jordan, and I'm not talking about Borrego, I'm talking about Jordan. Sell the team and get a group of investors in there who want to make a difference. See, we can never forget, man, in the infancy of the NBA, it was about fun and the fan. Now, because it has become corporate, it's out of
I was
control.
thinking I was saying this exact same thing you were saying. I was saying to many Hornets fans when I was up there. I was like, the real problem starts with Jordan. Sell the damn team. The
You
team,
know,
a GM, or should I say, a owner that cares about team success. Yeah, Kupchak can stay, but they need a owner because you can keep Kupchak. Kupchak knows how to draft, so you need a guy that can draft superstar talent, and Kupchak is that guy. But what you need is a owner that give a shit about the damn team and doesn't do
And
the
the Char-
most.
the Charlotte
That's
Hornets
the thing.
reminds me of y'all remember the movie
Jordan,
Any Given Sunday?
yeah, hold on. Go ahead, D Mac. Go ahead, D Mac.
Jordan wants to be Jerry Jones of the Cowboys.
It's not going to happen. Go ahead, D
Uh,
Mac.
if you
Control
if you think
everything.
of let me get this comment. Why would you not have played Vernon Carey Jr. this year? Yeah, we
My
said that.
point. My
And they were
point.
trying to say that Vernon Carey Jr. has to be developed and this and that. Of course, we understand that he has to be developed, but at the same time, he's going to give you a level of intensity and ferocity in the middle that you need. Sometimes you just
Facts.
need that body there with the attitude. And what this is,
Facts.
the Charlotte Hornets are
Can I ask
reminding me of the movie Any Given Sunday. You remember in Any Given Sunday, Al Pacino was having a problem because he was still stuck in an old system, coming in
Facts.
trying to coach these new players, and the times were changing, and he wasn't able to keep up with the times. That was the inside
Speak on
storyline
it,
of that
D.
movie, and this is what's going on in Charlotte.
That's right, man. Because here's the thing: it's like me trying to go out and be a
But
rocker, and
guys,
I'm 57 years
question.
old.
Can I ask a question? Because Mitch Kupchak said that it's a stretch when it comes to the playing. When it comes to not playing Vernon Carey and Nick Richards much minutes, I'm like, how are they gonna develop if they are not getting enough minutes? Because see, here's the thing: why would you draft a big man that's good on defense, can rebound, can run the break, in Nick Richards, and then draft a bucket getter in the pick and roll in Vernon Carey that can rebound, that's glue hands,
Facts.
and can play
Facts.
middle defense, and then you're not playing the minutes. But you have these senior citizens in the paint that can barely do down, that can barely catch a ball. Out of all of them, I would even say Bismack can catch the damn ball. Zella can barely even catch nothing. He can't even catch a fly if it
Here's the
was in front
thing.
of him.
Here's the thing, brothers, and I think we're missing it. Sisters in the room also. Again, shout out to Macrina, who's one of our moderators. Let me say this again. We have to respect what Kwame Brown is saying, and the only reason I'm going back to that is because Michael Jackson. I mean, Michael Jackson.
Michael
Michael
Jordan.
Michael Jordan was in that era. Not only was he in that era, he's still in this era now, and we see the same mistakes being made. You understand? Could you imagine? I'm gonna say it again, man. Could you imagine being 17 and thrown into Daniel's den with the Lions? Could you imagine what that kid went through? And Jordan is doing the same thing right now. That to
But
me, that's crazy.
there
The
go
mental,
YT. What's happening, Vaughn?
the mental
Thanks for the
trauma,
super
man.
sticker.
Hey, we want to thank Big Warren T for the shout for the super chat. $6, $7. Thank you, man. Super sticker. We appreciate you, brother. We really appreciate
Hey,
you.
I have a question real quick. Because we're talking about Kwame Brown, and when he first came in, he was 17, and Jordan put everything on him, and he didn't produce like Jordan thought. Do you think that's why he held back on bragging on Lamelo Ball in the beginning?
There
Because
you
he
go.
didn't
Now
want to
you got
have
it.
that same thing to happen all over again?
Now you got it. And this is what I said. I don't think
I think
LaMelo Ball will be with Uncle after the contract is over. I just
Yeah.
don't think so. I don't see it.
I think I think it's beyond that because look at the draft class. Look at the draft class. Like, let's address the draft class because there's one thing the 2020 draft class has shown us. They've shown us that they're more than just high impact role players. They're superstars that you can develop. And if you look at Malachi Flynn, that even I was skeptical about, I see a future star for the Raptors. That the Raptors is a very very good development team. Imagine if Lamelo went there. Yes, he will go to the G League. He'll be sent to the G League bubble. But when he comes back, boy, you'll see a different Lamelo Ball. He will get
I
all
don't
the
think
shots,
Tao, I don't
especially
think
with his strength.
Lamelo. I don't think Lamelo is the problem, man. And started, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. Is MJ. See, and that's what people don't want to separate. We don't want to separate MJ the player from MJ the player. Go back and study that video, man. I'm telling you,
No,
when he slapped, watch this. When he hit
MJ
Malik Monk in the back of the
person?
head. No, no, listen to me. Go
You
back
you
and study
meant
that video.
MJ person versus player because I'm not getting you. You
No, I'm
meant
saying
MJ as a
this.
player versus.
He's a person, a player versus
Uh,
a person. Something is mentally
uh,
wrong with dude, and this is what we miss. Because listen at the movie Gladiator. Are you not entertained? That's what their job, man. We don't know the mindset. Hold on, we don't know the mindset or the psyche of these individuals. We don't know who's 5150 dealing with our sons and dealing with these players. When you, as a grown man, slap another man up beside the head, we got a problem. We have
no,
a problem.
you know what?
What was the name of that coach? Wasn't it
The
Coach
Borrego.
Bobby Knight who used to be real aggressive with players?
Yes, Bob Knight
And
of
But
yeah,
Indiana.
Yeah, and that didn't pan over too well. It worked for some players, but some things will only work for some people, and you can't do people all the way across the board. That's like with my kids. I love all my kids equally, but I love them according to their needs. And that's what they have to understand. You can't, as a coach, you can't go in there and just treat everybody the same way across the board. You have to treat each one of your players according to their needs. And,
Facts.
you know, if they're not doing that, then a
Exactly.
lot of guys are not getting what they need.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna get you right after this,
All
Talfiq.
LaMelo needs is Borrego's loyalty. That's
But see,
it.
but we're stuck. We're see when I was
Go
in
ahead.
school
Go
in
ahead.
college when I was in college, I learned this. When you're gonna take a test, the teacher gives you a what? He gives you a study guide.
Hmm.
If you don't take that study guide and use it to approach the exam or the test, you're automatically seeking a failure. So what I'm saying is to keep MJ now with the level of athletes and these kids who are coming up in the league now who are a social media era of players. If he does not get to that level and allow what's going on to change his mind, when you slap another man in the back of the head because you have the power of the dollar, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry. Hey, let me say big shout out to Thunder for the $10 super sticker, man. We appreciate you, Doc.
Appreciate
Really
that
appreciate
thunder.
you, man, for helping
Then
the channel grow. Also, we want to say that to YT, same thing. But when you slap another man in the back of the head, there's something wrong with you. And now we see years later, this is what Kwame Brown was saying. This is what he's saying. This is what I went through. And nobody, and see, we're people in America are so caught up in the hype of controversy. Ooh, they cussing each other out. Ooh, they talking about who's smoking weed. Ooh, he talking about he's Derek Fisher sleeping with his wife. That's irrelevant to me. What's important is that Michael Jordan has not been correctly, forgive me what I'm about to say, diagnosed.
Say MJ is a poor manager. Hey, YT, you right, man. He is and I think that comes down to the um the entitlement. The entitlement. He thinks that his money can do things, and we've seen what that mentality has done to America over the past 4 years, thinking that you can buy security and comfort. You can't do that. You have to really actually put some time and effort and some care into it. And like we say, Mike got all these different ventures going on. How much can he really put into the Charlotte Hornets?
Right, facts. Fact. And watch this. He wasn't putting any time. What he was doing was on the golf course and his stores and other business ventures. He was not putting in time. And that's the things that we have to look at. Watch this, when the powers that be, because he has those too, told him that this kid Lamelo Ball is driving up revenue and our market shares and marketing is increasing from a marketing perspective now because he's all about the dollar. Now he shows up. Now he comes
Mhm.
around. Other than that, Mitch, you run the team. You know why? I'm used to losing. I don't have to worry about it. Mitch, you run it. But now, since LaMelo Ball's jersey is #2 in the world, international, now since this kid is breaking records, now since this kid is setting things that we've never seen,
one,
I'm going to show
number
up. Go ahead.
one, number one. He sells #1 in the world. Melo's
Go ahead,
jersey was
Tafi.
selling #1 in the world.
#1?
None,
I thought
the
Steph
thing
Curry was
is,
#1.
you
Okay.
can you can look at is Melo because Curry's #2. Thing is,
Okay.
the thing with Jordan is it's not like you said it that it's beyond just the mentality. It's all about he's all about the dollar that he wouldn't even bother watching the team unless money's involved. And it's funny, it's true because we're looking at this offseason and you know what was the first tactic? Promote LaMelo through highlights. When you show the free agents the highlights of LaMelo and Miles Bridges, throwing LaMelo throwing lobs to Miles Bridges, and he gets free agents. And I'm like, do these guys really want to get free agents?
But Tafi,
Like,
watch
why
this.
not just promote LaMelo as a franchise player? Like, let me why not promote LaMelo as a franchise player and not us promote him, make him the franchise player, and you would see more revenue. Like, I'm just thinking business wise here. It's a normal business strategy. You promote LaMelo as your franchise player, but instead, all they want to give is highlights
Because what goes on, man, is
of
this.
the rookie
In basketball, there's different levels in sports of everything. Watch this. I coach high
to free
school.
agents because
Let me say this. Let me say this.
realize everybody and Bridges, everybody else,
You're
and
lagging,
that's what
Tuffy.
Jordan and Kupchak wants to sell.
Watch this. I coach high school football, and this is one thing I learned. It wasn't just about the players on the team. It wasn't just about the drum, whatever they would call. It wasn't about all that. What it was about, man, at every level that someone, I'll never forget back then, I was going off on one of my players, right? All of a sudden, the athletic director comes out of nowhere. Okay, I just found out I have someone over the coach, the athletic director. Then what happens is this. Then there was another situation to where one of my players got injured very bad. And I didn't know what to do. I was coaching the JV. So guess what? Here comes a guy who's over medicine. So what I'm saying this, at every level in sports, there's somebody. Watch, just like this YouTube thing. There's a reason guys get on here and fight. It's the same thing with Kwame Brown. It is the same thing. What did he say? Politics. 100%. And that's the truth. It's politics. And DJ says that. And it's so true. Watch this. You have individuals who at higher levels who's even controlling MJ. When they have those owners meetings, I don't care how much money you got. You still have to succumb to everybody. So watch this. So now you got watch this. Let me show you my point. You got Kwame Brown, who's coming out and being controversial. His YouTube starts at 20,000. Now he's up to almost 100,000. His Instagram starts at what? 20,000. Now he's almost at what? To 100,000. Because people buy what's controversial. They don't buy losing. They don't buy loss. And that's the difference in Mike. Mike, if you put something that's controversial, more people will support your team. But as long as you putting garbage on the court that we can't get anything out of, no, people are not going to support that junk. That's my opinion.
It's that simple because it's just that simple because people are drawn towards controversial things.
Yes, sir.
It's just like when it comes to teenagers. They're drawn. There's so many and this is normal, common with teenage women. Like they're drawn towards like dangerous shit, and it's not. It's the same kind of cycle we see with the team. Like they don't know how to build as a team, and it starts with Jordan. Like the way you think as an owner. Like think about it. Out of everybody, if you had promoted Lamelo from the jump as your franchise player, you would not see your team be having struggle with free agents or trades. They didn't want to trade big because they didn't want to improve the team because they're not sure if Lamelo was going to come back. So Mitch Kupchak made the trade because his Boy Scout, he thought his Boy Scout was out for the season. So his Boy Scout finally came back, played hurt. They went to the play-in and got smacked and mollywopped by the damn Pacers that was losing 4 players.
And again, King C, you're 100% right, man. We have to wake up and realize that the American dollar is only capitalized when we take control of it. So LeVar Ball will never be accepted into any genre of sports because he's outside the platform of being controlled. That's what I'm telling you. You have individuals on YouTube who fight. Hold on one second. You have individuals on YouTube who fight. You know why? Because everybody's trying to be the dog. But when you accept that you're not the dog and you're a part of a team, Michael Jordan, then things begin to flow a lot easier. And the understanding of where we're all trying to go, we can get there. But when you take on the position as the jump, Stephen A. Smith, when you take on the positions as though you're an outsider, you're creating more harm for yourself than good. LaMelo Ball will not be with the Charlotte Hornets after his rookie contract.
I disagree.
I don't think he will.
It depends on LaMelo's play. If LaMelo plays like a superstar talent, it's gonna go both ways. If Lamelo chokes between those 3 years, yeah, the team might as well just say, yeah, we're not gonna re-sign you, and you'll be free to be a free agent. Or because the first 2 years for Lamelo, the next year is guaranteed. After year two, it depends on the team. So if he plays bad next year, yeah, that will tank his value, but at least he'll get to leave the damn team. And we'll know that at least he's out of Charlotte and he's out of a team that restricting him. And he will go to a team that believes in him. Because there are lots of coaches that would love to let LaMelo run loose. And Doc Rivers is one of them. Doc Rivers is ready to let LaMelo run loose.
But the problem again,
So is Mike D'Antoni. So is I don't know, Mark Jackson. I don't put much, but coaches that will let LaMelo run loose. Mark Jackson, Jason Kidd, so many. But
are you really understanding what you're saying, Tawfiq?
I understand. I'm saying if we're talking about active NBA coaches that want to let LaMelo run loose, Doc Rivers is one. Because I've said it earlier. He said, I would love to coach LaMelo.
On what team?
On any team.
Not the Charlotte Hornets, right, D-Mac?
Not the Hornets.
Not the Hornets.
Not the Hornets.
No, because I have to go back to it. Watch
It's
this.
good that you fact check me, but
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. And then I want to get both of your opinions. D-Mac, I'm gonna let you go first. What do you think? What do you think of Michael Jordan's ability as a manager and owner?
Oh God.
It's poor because Michael Jordan's not going to listen to anybody. It's always going to be poor because he's not going to take any suggestions. He's not going to take into consideration, the ideas what other people are saying. He's already voiced his opinion on how he feels about the guys nowadays. He's really going to, and like you were saying, Ty, he playing these old guys because he's loyal to the old school.
Exactly.
So as long as Jordan's going to stay loyal to the old school and still have this resentment towards the young guys coming in, he's going to stay the same, and the Hornets are going to stay the same.
Okay. On my opinion, I'm going to add from D-Mac's point and jump from there because, you see, yes, he's stuck to the old school because, for example, he complained when players are load managing because in order to avoid more injuries, because it was like he was the first. Jordan was the first to complain about players load managing to avoid more injuries. Because he's like, well, you get paid to play 82 games. You don't get to load manage. Because back in his time, he doesn't have that. It's because Jordan wants to have the same thing that these players have now, but he's forget times have changed. And you need to move on. So now, my evaluation of Jordan, you said he's just poor. Me? He's terrible. He's doo-doo.
Facts. I agree.
Like,
Facts.
I've never seen a more horrible manager, more horrible GM. Like, if there's an award for horrible GM and owner of the year, Jordan is already got the trophy unanimously. Like, even go to Charlotte fans, they know that unanimously. Only the delusional ones would be like, "Yeah, Jordan's a good owner."
Yeah, I like it. I liken it to Kanye West.
Of the year, Jordan deserves that award. Now,
I liken it to Kanye.
Breaking it down. Why I give?
Hold on.
Probably break it down. I'm gonna let you cook.
But let me do this, and I'll come back to you. I want to give my narrative, my perspective. Here's what happens. How old are you, Ty? If I can ask.
21.
21. Okay, great. I believe. Trust me, I do, and I'm saying that from a positive perspective because your insight is great in what you're reviewing and what you're studying. I respect that. I'm 57. Let me go back to the era where I grew up by the Inglewood Forum where the Lakers used to play. All right, and here's what happened. The Lakers is an arena that will never function again unless it is overhauled. Do we know why?
Don't know why.
Okay, Michael Jordan made the NBA marketable. Watch this. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird made the NBA fun. It was a household thing which everyone did on Sunday or Saturday night. It was great and fun to go to a game with your family and sit there, appreciate, and to eat popcorn. And you could afford it. You can afford a drink for $1. But Michael Jordan was never paid from the NBA what he was worth. But he is the game changer because his ability changed the nature of the game, which gave him entitlement. So no matter what he does, he's always going to be right. Let me tell you why. Go to arenas now. What do you have? Corporate luxury boxes, luxury suites. You can spend a night in some arenas. And what this is because Michael Jordan's level of play changed the game because the narrative that started at North Carolina, it produced values to, here I go again, corporate America made big dollars. So they're willing to give him and do whatever he says. Whereas Magic Johnson and Larry Bird only got a couple of commercials. Jordan brung luxury boxes to where you can come here now and you can make $1 million deals while watching me play.
That is shame.
But it's the truth. So if you want to know where and this is what Kwame Brown's saying. A lot of y'all don't know the truth. The truth is he's a real game changer. But the problem is because the certain dollars never came together, and because the certain dollars never created their own wealth, they allow one man to take reign of the ship and drive it. That's why you can't say anything to a person who's the driver of it.
Hey, let me get this comment real quick. King C said Big J Mello is out of there like Meghan and Harry when his contract is up.
I'm telling you, King C, facts, man.
King
I'm
C,
telling you.
King C actually is speaking facts but I feel like here's the reason why I disagree, because the thing with Melo, I see a player that's more likely to be a loyal player to the team, but the thing is, the team needs to build around him. But I see a Kemba Walker situation with LaMelo. He's gonna be there for a long time, and then he's gonna bounce.
Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Let me help you out again. It's all about marketing. King C is right, and I'll tell you why. LaMelo already has his brand. His brand is international. His brand is not doing that great in Charlotte because Charlotte is a small market team. If you put Lamelo Ball in Los Angeles or any New York, the Mecca, it's over with. But as long as he stays in Charlotte and is reduced to those mental games by that mental coach, by the mental GM, by the mental owner, he's going to always be under the onus of those gentlemen. But as long as JJ is there and he's communicating with LeVar, Jermaine Jackson, trust me, they got something going on. Because when your daddy say he wants to bang on the coach, that tells you he can't do it now because my son is there. But I wish he would touch my son. You know what he's really saying? We're going to hold the ship till we get over out of here, son. Do what you got to do. We're going to hold the ship.
That is true, because the thing is, LeVar said it. My sons play to win. They don't play for money.
Facts.
So in Melo's mind, I feel like Melo could leave if shit is not working. But I'm just saying the main instance. The alternative option could be like LaMelo could leave if he sees that things is not working within his rookie year. So he could literally force the Hornets to demand to trade him.
YT, what you think on that, man?
Playing bad.
Hi, Taufik, Mike, Big J. Hi, today.
What's going on, man?
Everything's good. Okay.
Yeah. Good to have you on, brother. What do you think on this topic, man?
The topic is good, but you know that there's many politics behind the scene. You know, if the Ball brothers, especially the family, want to be a top star or franchise player in NBA, they have to bend to the system. You know,
exactly.
It's the boys' club. So Kwame told us last time. Kwame told that it's the boy clubs.
You know what? You know what?
You will not be the franchise player or everything that they want. You know, right? And Jordan he has his own way, the old school way. So you have to earn everything. You have to earn everything with Jordan. You know, that's why he failed to develop Kwame Brown. That's what happened. So there's not that he's a good player, but the coach cannot do anything that the management want. That's what's happening.
Facts.
That is you are right, because the thing is, the fired Clifford because Clifford just does not agree with what Jordan and Kupchak does, so he doesn't help them. Because if Clifford was coaching Lamelo, yes, there will be experience over over youth, but at least the thing with Clifford, what Clifford would have do is at least say, you know what, Melo will run through you today.
Mm.
Yeah, we run through this guy the other day. We're gonna run through you today. He's gonna share the role, because look at how Kemba played under Steve Clifford versus under Borrego. Despite the fact, because think about it, Borrego does not know how to manage superstar talent. Look at how we did with Kemba.
Exactly.
Kemba still left. Kemba left his ass. Now he has Carmelo's protege, who was drafted third overall. What did he do with him?
Set
Mind
him
game.
down. Set him down.
Give him limited role. Try to make him into rookie Lonzo. And,
That's
and what is that? You might as well just trade Lamelo for Lonzo.
and that's
If
what I'm telling you, Tafik, is this, man.
trade them for each other.
Watch this, watch this. And YT said it right. Watch this. It's all economics. And you better believe LeVar Ball has a plan. I don't care what JB does. I don't care what Michael Jordan does. At the end of the day, it's all about the dollar and the economics. That the Ball brothers have value. They create a sense or a narrative to wherever they go, and they draw people. Watch this. LiAngelo never played in Detroit, but folk was showing up. Why? Because they have what you call market appeal. And I'm telling you, LeVar Ball is not concerned about this coach of this team. Because if
No.
they don't produce and give you what his son deserves, go ahead, D-Mac.
That's
D-Mac.
exactly what I was gonna say, man. It comes down to this. A lot of these guys, if something was to happen with Lamelo or with Lonzo, they're gonna look to their dad. All right, what's
Exactly.
Plan B?
Facts.
They best believe they have a Plan B already. They've already sat down and talked about these things. Lavar's already said, "I'm not gonna be coaching y'all when y'all get to the NBA. Y'all are gonna have to be under different systems, and y'all are gonna have to face some scrutiny based on the way we came into this thing. Understand that. So with that being known, just know that you're gonna have to adapt to some different things. You're gonna have to overcome some things. So they already got this in their mind. It's not gonna break these dudes. It's just gonna make them stronger, and it's gonna make the league look crazier.
D-Mac, you're saying that the Ball brothers are playing the long game, while LeVar is secretly strategizing to really
Hmm.
help their future. Yeah, that is a smart tactic. I
But I
like
don't.
that.
Absolutely.
I don't. What's this? YT? Do you think he's secretly strategizing, or do you think he already had a plan before his sons came into the league?
PJ, Lava can have many plan B, A to C, A to Z, but at the end of the day, it's a boys' club. Lava
Oh,
have to
yeah.
pay the ticket to
You're
enter the
Facts.
right.
boys' club at the end of the day,
You're right. You're right. Because
That, that,
normally George Carlin would say this when he was talking about America and all that. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. It's just like it's all economics. Like
exactly.
it's all about economics. Like you said, Jay. It's all economics. Like it's all about the monetary value. Whatever produces the. That's why you notice that big market teams are actually interested in LaMelo. The problem is LaMelo's not available because he just got drafted, and there's no way he's gonna just leave one contract and bounce to another.
Let's do this.
Exactly.
Let's do
So
this.
you
I want to hear.
cannot
I want to hear
hijack the
YT. Go ahead,
system,
YT.
Big J, you cannot hijack the system. And if you try and you succeed, they will find another way to put you back in the line. That's what's happening.
Because look at what happened. KD left the Warriors. What did Adam Silver do? The KD rule. He did KD rule in which he gave incentives to teams when they draft players. If the player stays on that team for a long time, even for the rest of their career, they'll earn more money staying on that team than leaving that team.
So
Just think
I
about
want to kind of go ahead, finish. All right. I want to kind of go a different way with it because we always focus on, like we said, it's the good old boys club, and if you're not in it, you're in it. But it's not the only club. Yeah, they pay the most money. Yeah, you get the most notoriety, but there are also other leagues where you can go and make a living and play your game and live out all of your dreams. Stephon Marbury went overseas, and that dude got statues over there. He's a bigger star over there than these guys are over here because he found out that America was the NBA wasn't only the only ball game in town.
you see the problem with America.
Let's
Well,
do
it's
this.
not just
Let's do
America,
this.
it's North
Todd,
America as a whole.
let me do this. Let me do
Oh,
this.
sorry, heard you.
Let's go ahead and make it a platform to where everybody has a several minutes to speak and we go around. So what
Because
we'll do, we'll come to YT now, give him his minutes, and
why,
give him his time. Then we'll come back to Todd, and then we'll go back to D-Mac.
I'll let D-Mac cook up after. So
No,
my
no,
bad.
no, no, no. Go ahead,
Because
YT.
YT got something to say.
No, I was only saying that it's true about China, but the NBA is the mecca. Wherever you
Hmm.
go, you'll be a superstar there, but the NBA is the place to be, where all over the world, wherever you're in China, in Africa, in Europe, the NBA is the mecca, you know.
Facts.
So, and we as black, we don't own our own company. We don't own our own economy. Though we cannot
He's
hijack the
speaking.
system. You know, that that
Speak.
that's it. That's it.
All right, go ahead, Tal.
What you got, D-Mac? I'll let him.
Okay. As far as hijacking the system, I think well, yeah, they're definitely not going to let LeVar Ball in because he's not going to contribute to their earnings. He's more setting up a system to build stability for him and his family, and that's not what the league wants. So they're going to keep him out. But like I said, the JBA was a great idea, and it's something that can still work if the consistency and the determination is there to do it. You can fight through those obstacles. Yeah, they can put many obstacles in your way, but if you really, really want it, at some point, their fighting against you is going to become obvious, and they're going to expose their true intention, and then they're going to have some heat to deal with. So yeah, you can't hijack the system, but you can definitely punch through some of those holes. What Ant say? He said, "Remember the Lakers screwed over Lonzo. The NBA higher ups and the national media don't like LeVar taking it out on his team. They will have to leave the NBA, starting their own league to have success."
Wow.
Mm,
I
Facts.
mm,
think I agree. I agree with that, Jams. Here's the thing, because we've all watched Lonzo's rookie season. Like everyone here has. If you look at Lonzo's rookie season, the thing I noticed is that Fluke Walton, and I'm not gonna call him his actual name, Fluke Walton. Yes, Fluke Walton screwed the damn team because he, like, think about it. Out of all the coaches that has coached the Ball brothers, do you know that Fluke Walton is the only one to keep it real about every criticism that LeVar gives him and him taking it out on Lonzo? Like, remember, there was this interview where when Lonzo was sat down for the rest of the game, and guess what Fluke Walton said? His dad was talking shit, so I had to bench him.
mm.
And even though he said it jokingly, there's some truth to that. His dad was talking shit, so I had to bench him. And like, you must be a some type of narcissistic coach to say that type of stuff. His dad was talking shit, so I had to bench him. Even JB won't say that
Yeah,
because
he'll show it.
he's a company man and he's a yes man, a hype man that's scared to do the right thing.
And you
Okay.
know that many coaches have
Walton would
the
say
skin
it.
protection.
Go ahead, YT. Thank,
But
thank
You know,
you. Yeah.
there's many coaches have the complexion protection. They can screw whatever they want, but there will still be a coach. You know, Luke Walton is he's not above, below average coach. He don't need to be coach in NBA. That guy. I don't know what Luke Walton is doing in NBA. I don't think he's a coach. Huh?
His
He's lucky
father,
even with Sacramento right today.
right?
He's not a coach for me.
Yeah,
He's in that
his,
good
his
old boys club.
yeah, his father, Bill Walton, right?
Yeah, yeah,
UCLA star, Portland star, Boston. His daddy.
yeah.
There are many black coaches outside who doesn't have opportunity. But you know, there are
You're
people
right.
like Luke Walton,
You're right.
contract after contract. You see Borrego next year, another contract for Borrego, and Borrego is below average also. He's a nice cool coach. You know,
Thank
I
you.
tell
I
you,
already said, man, all of his coaching as a head coach, he was under 500. So I don't see what Jordan saw in this guy that was says he can be a winner as a head coach, because every time he's been in that head coaching role, it's been losing.
Mm-hmm.
And not just losing, but losing pretty bad.
exactly.
Facts.
So put him back in the assistant coach spot. Let him be a great assistant coach, and let somebody else call the shots.
Let me tell you let me tell you what I feel.
What do you?
One of the biggest things that happened was Kwame Brown. I'm gonna go back to it again. I'm not with the antics of the verbiage and the language. I'm not with all that. But what I will say, as YT is saying, the Good Boys Club, Kwame Brown is exposing all of that, and he's gonna make people take a look at themselves and again reclassify how they feel about a system that is not honorable. Because the only way you can reach the top tier is by talking about or defaming other individuals, you will never ever make it to the top. Just like there used to be something called for women, the glass ceiling. A woman could only go so far in corporate America, but that narrative has been destroyed. It has been broken, but it took time. And I think with Kwame's Brown ranting and his corporate America has to look. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Watch this. I don't know if any of you guys watch the All Smoke. I don't like the show, the
Yeah.
The
podcast.
podcast,
I
yeah.
don't really like it. But watch this. Matt Barnes will no longer talk about Kwame on the show. He talks about him in his car, which tells me it's not Matt and Steven Jackson who's running that. There are some corporate types at the top telling them what they can say and what they can't say, which means is now they're talking mess in their cars. So it's the same thing. What we're saying that the politics is starting to be exposed, and it should be exposed. Because
And
I
that's why. Go
go ahead,
ahead.
Doc. You got it. You got it. Go ahead.
That's why they'll only oppose the Ball family so much. You can only oppose them so much, and whenever you start being exposed for what you're doing, then at that point, you know how the league don't like this
Yes.
negative press on the
Yes.
actual league. They
Yes.
go on these apology tours in a minute. And they'll make these players go on apology tours too if they feel like the constituents and the fans are in a disagreement. So if people start to find out that these guys are plotting against this Ball family because of these petty issues, then people are gonna have a problem with that, and they're gonna put pressure on the league. And the league don't really want those problems. So I feel like if the Ball family keep on pressing the issue, then they'll punch through, because you can only block them so much without being discovered.
Yes, watch this. Let's get to the room now. Sacramento Kings was one of the most talked about up and coming teams one year with Luke Walton, and how they are trash. Because again, you give individuals opportunities, man. I'm telling you, it's about the economics. They gave, watch this. LeVar Ball said it. Luke Walton should have been fired, but the only reason they didn't fire him is because he was Luke Walton, and LeVar said fire him. If LeVar would have never said anything, guess what? He would have been fired. We got another one from Ed James. The national media actually attacked Lonzo more when he played in a big market in Los Angeles. The big markets would have the national press showing more disrespect for the national sports media. Ooh, you said a whole mouth. That's fact.
Let me explain. I'm gonna respond to Ann Jams. It's because you see, think about it like this. Out of all the Ball brothers, which one would you trust to play on a big market team? I just want
Lamelo.
to before I put my response to Ann Jams. Which one
Melo.
would exactly? We all could have like what do you big D-Mac, D-Mac, you said Mellow, right?
Yep.
What about you,
I say Lamelo.
Vontae?
Melo, of course.
Because here's the thing. The reason why I say that is because Mello is ready for any type of criticism, any type of like. Look how we handled the criticism about his draft status,
Mhm.
like a mature person. Lonzo, he will handle it too like a mature person, but he's not that vocal like Lamelo is. Like you don't see Lonzo all the time yelling at his teammate for the ball
No.
whenever he pass him. You don't see that.
True.
And
No.
in big market where the lights are the brightest, you know the spotlight is always gonna be. So of course, the reason why national media doesn't like Lonzo, yes, it's the money, but it's also you have to also understand advertisement. The more brighter the light is, the more advertisement the light the more advertisement, the more the media is there, the more eyes that is gonna be on that player. So think about it. You bring someone like a Zoe to a big market team, which Lavar predicted and he was right about. You bring him to a big market team, face scrutiny, and you expect him to not face criticism. Come on.
You're
Like
right.
think about it. If Lonzo goes to the Knicks, he will go through the same exact thing he went through in LA.
What? Let
I,
me ask you a
I, I,
question.
Same
Go ahead.
think
Go
I
ahead,
have
YT.
also something to add before you continue, Big J. You know, this year we are entering. This year was a different era. Uh, this year we are in the Aquarius era. You know, it means that there's many change of paradigm. You know, there's more true who is surpassing. You know, you see what Kwame Brown is talking. There are more people who want to hear the truth. You know, you see
Yes.
even
Facts.
Lava can take advantage of that or the Ball family. You know, because they can outshine because there's a change. You know, people are more involved to hearing truth to change their perception. You know, they can take that advantage. You see Lonzo, his game has involved. His game is speaking for him right now. You know, if they continue like that, they can change something. Maybe change the perception of people who are the doctor, the haters, as we say. Mm.
That is true
Mm. Mm.
because someone that you send to a big market team and then the perception of him is, well, he was trash for a number 2 overall pick. How is he trash for a number 2 overall pick when his play style, I mean the way he plays, doesn't suit a big market? Look at when they send him to a small market. And I'm not saying New Orleans is a good thing. You like New Orleans, yes, is a good system for him. Just the coaching sucks. The GM sucks. Just like New Orleans and Charlotte did the same exact franchise.
I
This
And we
agree. I
go.
agree. Let me say this. Let me say this though. See, and we said it before on one of our other shows. The big market teams don't have time to develop you.
No.
Magic Johnson saw something amazing in Lonzo Ball, and
and
what he saw was a future prospect. What we see now, who can shoot the lights off. But LA just does not have time to develop players. But they choose the right players. Watch this. Look at Julius Randle. Look at
Mhm.
Bi. Look at Brandon Ingram. Look at all these guys who the Lakers let go, who are going to be future stars because they don't have time to develop players. Now, what is it? Now, watch this. What is James Borrego talk about? We're going to develop. We got to develop. Small market teams have time to what? Develop. Look at when D'Angelo Russell went to Brooklyn. They said he was a bust in LA, but when he went to a small market team in Brooklyn, which is not really small, but I'm talking about the economics, he ended up becoming an all-star. So teams that are really in that big market like New York, other teams, well, New York, they just got back. But other teams just don't have time to babysit you, and they won't do it.
well, New
Every
York
single.
big market team that actually develops players out of all the big markets.
Right.
Because look at Julius Randle when he came to New York. They made him this franchise player, and what happened? He's dropping big numbers, and it happens over and over. Some players they need a change of scenery. That's the thing because Lamelo, you can send him to LA and he will go shoot the lights out.
Wow.
And Jam said something. Yeah, DMAC, I'll let you respond to
He
this.
says, he says, I'm saying despite the big money, Melo and championship potential he brings teams, I sense the NBA will have all the owners to mistreat LaMelo, making it hard to have great success to hurt LeVar. Um, that's
Facts.
a pretty good thought right there, and I wouldn't put it past them because they're just that petty. We've seen many times before where they've done this type of things to players who have spoken their own mind and didn't follow the script. And like I talked about him earlier, Latrell Sprewell. That was a guy that you couldn't control. That was a guy that would speak his mind, and you
Exactly.
wasn't going to stifle him. And they got rid of
Facts.
Latrell Sprewell.
Right.
Mhm.
Facts. And that's
That
what
was my
happens.
player. I
Go
loved
ahead,
Spirit
Wachi.
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That guy.
Latrell Sprewell. That guy was something
He
else.
was
And
a
The
bad
loose
boy.
cannon.
Do you remember the New York team, Sprewell, those guys? Was
Yes.
a
yeah,
great run, huh?
Yeah, but
yeah,
see, and that's
man.
the thing. That's what the NBA was about. To where at one time the players ran the league. That's not that way anymore. Now the
Yeah.
league run the players. Watch this. How can you overlook Damian Lillard? How can you overlook him on any level in Portland when he's a clutch 3 point? He's a clutch player. How is the and the NBA will overlook him? They overlook. Watch this. LeBron James is. I'm not going to talk about him, but he's done. And they're still giving him clout. Why? Because the NBA gave him clout in high school and they made him their marketing boy. So guess
But
what?
yeah,
LeBron James is still.
BJ is
He's
fine.
still there.
They're
Go ahead.
looking for a new face for the league.
Come
They're
on.
looking for a new face. Every year there's a new player, but there's not the same impact. So they have to capitalize to around LeBron right now. That's
Yes.
that's
Speaking
how
about new faces, I feel like the new face that they're trying to bring is like the Giannis, the Kristaps, the Luka Doncic's, and like
Yeah.
they're not just trying to look for one face of the league,
But there's
but
a reason. Tavi, you're right. And there's
it's
a
all
reason.
about the money. It's all about the money.
But
So
watch this. If I control the image, I can control the narrative. The
mm,
original image was Jerry West. That's all I'm going to say.
the logo.
That's all I'm going to say.
but Jerry
The
West has
original image was Jerry West. Then Michael
Jerry
Jordan. You
doesn't want
can't
to put
control Mike. Right.
Every single year, every single year we'll have a new prospect come out, and we'll have every analyst in the NBA saying, well, this guy's supposed to do this, and they'll start throwing out their stats and their projections and all of that. And ultimately what it comes down to is the guy's team, the coaching, and how comfortable he feels with that team to play his game, and if he fits in that system. Everybody's always going to make speculations on what a person's going to do, but ultimately, what it comes down to is that person's his mentality, and how he doesn't allow all of the lights and the glitz and the glamour to get him distracted from what his goal is, and that's to come there and win championships for a team.
See,
And that's why I like the fact that LaMelo always comes back to, hey, it's just basketball at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. Y'all want to put all this
facts.
extra on it,
Facts.
but at the end of the day, it's
Facts.
just basketball, and we're here to get championships.
And let me follow this up with you, D Mac. When you look at Lamelo Ball, he is not an NBA prototype. And let me
No,
explain to you what I mean.
mm,
Shaq, they went and got Shaq and made him a prototype. And just coming out of college, Shaq was doing commercials with Bill Russell, all the great centers. That watch this, what YT was talking about. They were building the image they wanted. When LeBron James was coming out of high school, they saw him as being a face so bad, they start broadcasting his high school games. The problem with this, LaMelo Ball detoured and went away from the NBA structure. He went over to Lithuania at 14, 15, 16, came back, went to Spire Institute and killed butt. made a name for himself. Then went to Australia and destroyed it, showing all the NBA execs that went over there that they messed up, that they did not rate him right in the draft. Now he comes back and he wins Rookie of the Year 3 months in a row. Rookie of the Month. Now he might end up being Rookie of the Year after getting hurt. And then he set all kind of records. That's not how it works in the NBA. Him and his family broke the mold.
That is true, because you see, the funniest thing is that the kid went from 13 to 23 to being the number one finalist for Rookie of the Year. And winning this is the most historic Rookie of the Year. If LaMelo wins the award, it'll be the most historic Rookie of the Year since Patrick Ewing.
But he did it without the NBA. Are you getting what I'm saying? So what that is, it's a slap in the face to the NBA. So they would never push the correct narrative if it's only to make money for them, like they invited him to the All-Star game to be in the rookie challenge. See, if it's not gonna pad their pocket, they're not interested in him. And like I think it's Ann James or somebody said, then they're gonna sit on him. That's the problem.
No, and just said he said you see Adam Silver. You said you see Adam Silver didn't push for Borrego to get fired. That just shows the lack of disrespect, or disrespect the league have for Melo. The new faces they want is Luka and Giannis to go along to get along.
I've already said that.
Now you got it.
They did everything to sabotage his draft stock also, you know. And Lamelo should be the number one pick, you know, but they did everything possible to sabotage the draft stock, you know. Everything possible, you know.
Well, honestly, that's the Charlotte media, because think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte, that's Charlotte media, because you can say the NBA did that, but it's not the NBA technically. That's Charlotte, because let's look at it. Who out of all the reporters in the NBA, each reporter in all of the reporters actually was putting more negative on LaMelo before he was drafted. A reporter from Charlotte. Where does LaMelo end up? Charlotte. It's that simple.
Let me see.
We got to get to the comments in the room. Let's get to the comments in the room.
Imagine with that. Now, Ray said, why are people now saying that LaMelo's overrated? There are a lot of people hating on him and saying that he doesn't deserve Rookie of the Year. Oh, Ray, glad you asked. You see, things is that there are people who think Anthony Edwards should win Rookie of the Year because of statistics and longevity. Well, while we can argue longevity, before we get to N Jams, I'm going to answer them. While we can argue longevity, you also have to understand that the most important part of this award is impact and winning. It doesn't matter if LaMelo doesn't make the play-in. Out of all the finalists, tell me, how many of those rookies made the playoffs?
Yeah, but here's the key. Here's the key, Tom.
It's just a question, guys.
Yeah, none of them. None.
No, let alone a play-in.
Oh, none.
A play-in tournament.
LaMelo Ball.
Exactly. So LaMelo already still won the award because.
But here's the thing. Here's the argument. Here's the argument. The argument is if he's all that, if he's all the hype, especially Charlotte fans. See, Charlotte fans were sold a ticket that they cannot get their money back from now. Hold on, let me finish. Charlotte fans were sold that he's going to be the golden knight to take us over the river. We're going to win the championship. But what nobody is looking at, that game had nothing to do with LaMelo Ball. That game had to do with Terry Rozier taking 10 threes and missing them. It had nothing to do. But now what they want to do, because the mega mantra was built that LaMelo is this guy. So guess what they want to do now? Now, he's not all that. He's overrated. No, not really. You got a coach who didn't know how to coach a superstar.
Well, I always parallel LaMelo with Allen Iverson, because Allen Iverson came into the league with adversity. He came into the league and they threw everything at him because he didn't push the image that the NBA player or the star pushing. And so they tried to demonize Allen Iverson, and they made it hard for him. I saw an interview the other day, and he said it was a living hell in Philadelphia, and he loved Philly, but it was a living hell being there because he was always under the magnifying glass and so much scrutiny. And that's the same thing that LaMelo is going in because he's not coming in and doing what the league wants and being what the league wants. They're gonna make it hard for him,
You're
but he
right.
can do exactly what Allen Iverson did and overcome it.
Let's
Mac,
get these
Mac,
comments.
Mac, that's fact. Because the thing is, the biggest mistake. You know what the biggest mistake that Lamelo made through this season? Deny the NBA the All Star Skills Challenge. Although as much as it's a mistake, it's a smart decision. Because you
Yeah.
know that I'm not gonna fall for your tricks. I'm gonna play the game on my terms, not your terms, my terms. But the thing is, the NBA realized that he's playing the game to not to their terms. So they what did they do? They made things even tougher. Why? Like they made things even tougher for them. Now referees are not calling foul calls for him even more. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was the moment where Lamelo got slapped by Davis Bertans, and yeah, the guy got a flagrant foul. But then there have been times when the kid has gotten clotheslined after All Star game. Where was the refs there?
Hey, let's do this, gentlemen. Let's get the audience involved because they come in here and they have great points. So let's take on these the next three chats so we can talk about those. Go ahead.
Said the NBA commissioner Adam Silver, I wouldn't be surprised is ordering from above to make Melo go through hell no matter what team he goes to. LaMelo is not willing to buck dance for them. Yeah, it's the whole Allen Iverson syndrome. This done started a whole AI syndrome. That's what I'm gonna call it. The AI syndrome.
Right. Hey,
Exactly.
YT, can you take this one, man? YT, you see that one?
YT, you know what? Jay, let me answer this one because I've seen this type of similar comment before, but I will let YT answer it in his own fashion. Then I'll jump in. YT, start off.
which comment about?
This says the NBA is one that gave the hardest schedule in the league with the most brutal road trip and the most back-to-back games, as well as letting players rough up Lamelo. What do you think about that, YT? Do you think that the
No,
NBA did it on purpose?
no, 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 no. We all know that Borrego is a below average coach. He's on Borrego. The failure of the Charlotte team is on Borrego. You know, the failure team we say on Borrego also on the injury of players. So I cannot blame the NBA for the schedule. There
Okay.
was some team that they're supposed to beat, but they didn't do that. So
Right.
you will not say that the NBA did that. So
Right.
I'm not buying that.
I
I'm not
would
buying.
slightly disagree with YT, but I agree with him. You have to understand it also the NBA also plays a part in this. The NBA also plays a part in this because you have to understand they want to sell a narrative. They want to sell hope. They want to sell that money. So
Mhm.
you have to understand that the concern here is that why not promote LaMelo? Think about it. They promoted LaMelo even more than the damn team that drafted him. The entire Charlotte media is trash except for the damn announcers in the arena. Like that's how bad they are. And I don't want to get started with the reporters. To be honest, they literally screwed everything up. You didn't promote the rookie. You took you till the end of the season when he's in contention for rookie of the year before you now say, "Oh, now let's promote our rookie." Why
Yeah,
did it
fact,
take you
fact.
so long?
Yeah, facts. And
Then the NBA realized Melo is the thing is the NBA is pushing LaMelo as a superstar while the team is pushing a rotation player.
And I,
So
and I, and that's what that's what Ant James is saying. He said the NBA is scared of Lamelo leading his team to the playoffs, especially at the fourth season. Magically, the other team started to injure Lamelo and his teammates. That is
Yeah.
facts. That's facts.
Yes, Tawfiq, it's true. Yes, that's why maybe they're rushing back from injury. It's true. Yes, yes, it makes
So
sense.
when it comes to hard schedules, the NBA plays a part of it, but you also can blame Borrego because of his terrible coaching. But it's basically the NBA was in a rush to sell money, so they realized they have to think about it. They did this with Zion. Like, are you guys like, are we to be surprised? Look at last year with Zion, tough schedules. They gave Zion to the same exact type of schedule. It's not that difficult. They want to make money off their rookies because
Facts.
high profile rookies mean high money. It's
Facts.
that simple. Because Adam Silver lost a lot of money. So obviously, the way to make that money back is obviously to promote high profile rookies. And he knows that LaMelo means more money. So is Anthony Edwards. So he knows, okay, these two, they'll bring a quick buck for us. What do? We promote them. See, LaMelo, why do you think they invited LaMelo to the skills challenge? He will bring more attention to All Star Weekend. And
Let me-
because All Star Weekend is boring, so why not bring LaMelo to hype everything up so that we'll be like, yeah, we're watching him. And he
Right.
said, you know what? I'm going to decline because I'm not playing your game. I'm playing my game.
And that's the thing. It's going to be payback. Go ahead, D Mac. Take that comment.
It says the NBA was supposed to give the champions Lakers the hardest schedule, not a bad team like the Hornets, who had one of the worst records.
Right.
Like I
Yeah,
said, like I said earlier, it's all about making the money. They wanted to promote them rookies, high profile rookies,
Right.
even
YT.
rookies.
YT, what do you think about that?
Yes, but I think that it's fact. I'll fix speaking some facts because I didn't saw that in that way, but probably I think that is it's questionable. So maybe the NBA they did that, but it can be true. It can be true.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the scary thing. But guys, we're about to get up on out of here. We've been here for a minute. I got to respect everybody's different time schedule and all those things. But what do you think the next narrative should be? I want to get this with the room. What should we discuss? I wanted to do the Kwame Brown thing, but I think that's being overcompensated right now. Do we
Yeah,
want to stay on the? Yeah. Do we want to stay on the Charlotte Hornets?
I think
um,
we should discuss is all about like addressing because we need to address what the Hornets should do this offseason and what's next for the team. Like that's
Right.
that should be the next topic. Like what's next?
we
Like
searching for a big man. We searching for a big man.
I'm searching for a big man. Daniel Theis ain't it, man. Because y'all another Boston Celtics castaway, and the only one that paid off is Gordon Hayward.
But
Everybody else didn't pay off.
but I think as I see what's going to be next season, they are not going to build around Lamelo. That's why for me, Lamelo have to work
Like,
his optimism on this game because next year he has to create more than he did this year for
That's
himself
right. That's right.
because you're going to be more tougher next year.
I fear that they're not gonna give Lamelo help.
No, man. Tafik, you got to go read the article that James Borrego was quoted in. James Borrego said, "This summer, I'm going to spend as much time as I can with Lamelo Ball
I already
to
read that.
you read it? He
I,
said to develop his game. I have to develop his game. We've had players come through our system of development program like Devontae Graham. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done.
that, I'm like, are you kidding me? You can't be serious when you want to develop the. You can't. You gotta let the kid develop. He has trainers. He has the coaches. He has guys that can develop him. All you just need to do is send the instructions on what drills you want the coaches to run for him. That's it.
That's because this coach man has a problem with this kid.
You have
This coach.
He's not a system player. He's not a system player. He's a generational talent. So the coach is the system coach. How do you want him to manage Lamelo?
Let me quote Earl Watson here on Lamelo compared to Lonzo. Lonzo is a pattern point guard, aka system player. Lonzo needs a system for him to succeed, whereas Lamelo is a non-pattern, futuristic point guard.
Like that.
You can do it all, score, do everything. He's non-pattern. Lonzo will give you, but Lamelo will give you pattern plays in transitions. But Lonzo, it will give you non-pattern in transition.
Exactly.
You see that? It's,
Yep.
it's just
It
the
needs to be the
two.
show or rep the show. It's like that's how you see.
They're two different players.
Yeah.
You can't force because think about it. This plan of turning Lamelo into a system player would backfire.
And you know what? And James said it right, and then he supports the statement. Meanwhile, they gave the Knicks a easy schedule to get them back to back in the playoffs. The Knicks fans only complained by one road trip at the end of the season. We had multiple hard road trips. I do agree with that,
So the big
James,
market
100%.
teams are getting the easy schedules then.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's my brother, man. So I gotta really like sympathize because I feel bad for Charlotte fans. Like y'all be having the toughest schedule for no reason. I'm just like, damn, do these guys even rest? Like Tuesday game, Thursday game, like how many days?
Yeah,
How
it
many?
was crazy. It was crazy.
And this is what I say that they promote the high profile rookies. If
Right.
the NBA was not in rush to make money, they wouldn't do this.
Yep. And
They
and you
wouldn't.
and you're right. And I think and James with Lamelo Ball and his addition, the NBA made the schedule just so they can make money. They sent Lamelo Ball to high market teams so he can be promoted. So those cities could make money because they did. You know what you feel about that, YT?
Yes, it's true. It's true. It's about business, you know. And you see, this year there was promoter in the national TV. Last year nobody was talking about the Hornets. Even me. It's been many years that I'm not even looking the games of Hornets. This year I started to look all the highlight, all the games every night. When Lamelo got hurt, I wasn't watching any game of Charlotte. So I leave everything. So I was just uh, checking the score and the box score, everything like that. Lamelo give a big view to the NBA for the Charlotte team and the schedule, everything. So they maximize the money on him for the schedule. It's true. I think
Yeah,
that
he
is.
was used. He was completely used. And I remember Jermaine Jackson, JJ said that. They said this kid's been pimped since he was 13 or 14 year old. Everybody's making money on him. Like everybody's making money now on what's that boy's name? Kwame Brown. Every
Yeah.
Exactly.
every video is out right now on people's
King,
pages. Kwame Brown. I
hey,
can't I can't take the language. Go ahead, D Mac.
hey, King C said, shout out to the panel for keeping the conversation a buck. Hey, that's what we here for, man. To just bring the real. We bunch of just regular brothers with insight on what's going on.
It's all love out here, man.
Hey man,
Like,
we want go
okay, y'all
ahead. Go
let
ahead, Ty.
last comment here.
Go ahead.
He needs to. He said that if it felt like the Hornets was in the Western Conference, they need to play a Western Conference team more than Eastern Conference team. I think it's the opposite with this comment. Like they're the only Eastern Conference teams to play more Western Conference matchups
Facts.
because do you like the most hyped up match? Should I? I play my guys. I play soccer a lot, so the most hyped up game in basketball this season in the NBA is the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Charlotte Hornets. So
Facts.
I see a similar rivalry like the Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird,
Right.
Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball. So
Mm.
I feel like and the NBA will sell that.
Mm-hmm.
They're building that up because every game it's always overhyped.
Yes.
You already be like, talking about it like yeah number one versus number three,
Facts.
but you already know they're gonna bring their game.
But they did the same thing with Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins. Dominique Wilkins was always coming up short behind Michael Jordan. And I think over a long time, Dominique Wilkins had kind of a resentment towards that, always falling number two to Mike. And I don't want Anthony Edwards to be like that with LaMelo because it seems like no matter what Edwards does, He's a phenomenal player. He just don't have that it factor. We talked about it before. He can score all the points he want and be as great as he want. He still don't have that it factor that Lamelo does, and that's what Jordan had over Dominique Wilkins.
Mac, don't you think that is because of the team? You know that the Timberwolves, they are not a great franchise. So every prospect that they draft never have good chance to shine.
Well, that's like Dominique. He played for the Atlanta Hawks, and back then the Hawks wasn't really all of that, you know. And when Dominique came to the franchise, he brought them up. But he started out with a team who wasn't really all that either. Same as Anthony Edwards. The Timberwolves, you know, they can be a good team, but they just got a couple pieces they got to add. So I see the same parallel kind of with that. I just don't want Anthony Edwards to resent the people because, you know, it's the people who making these comments about, you know, well, Edwards is good, but LaMelo's just got that it factor. I know that can get on somebody's nerves. I just don't want him to get that chip on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, man. Facts.
He just had to leave that market after his rookie contract, you know, because the Timberwolves is not a good team to be, huh? I tell you.
Yeah, he'll probably go.
Hey, man, go by and support these brothers' pages, man. Everybody go by and subscribe to the pages, support them. Hey, it's necessary. We're all one team. There's no I in team. The acronyms for team. Together, everyone achieves more. We want everyone to achieve because we support those who play the entertaining game of basketball. Someone got this comment?
Dominic didn't get the proper respect as an NBA elite player with him playing in the small market Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks was the original de facto home team of the people in the Carolina. Great point.
Yes.
Great point. And that parallels the Hornets. They're a small market team, and LaMelo's trying to do something big in a small market.
Great point. Great facts. Ain't James? Great one, brother. Yeah,
that is the difference in Atlanta and Carolina is that Atlanta is more appealing. And
now it is. Now it is.
Now it is.
Now it is.
Wilkins and so many other Hawks legends. They actually revolutionized the place. They made the team a much better team. So you see all that. But and Jam said something about putting LaMelo through a boot camp, and he got his team to the playoffs. Only the injury stopped it. Plus Borrego. What do you guys think of that?
Nah. See, this whole thing with LaMelo was scripted by MJ, man. If you go back and you listen to MJ's video, he's in control and everything. When he said he doesn't think a rookie should come into the NBA and have success right away because he needs to go through this or he needs to go through that. He did not look at the family. Let's get this comment.
Yeah, please get this comment. King C said, "You get a center, 70% of the Hornets' problem goes away. Get rid of Devontae, 90% of those problems go away. Get rid of Borrego, 100%.
Facts.
Facts.
King C.
That's the big three for Charlotte right there.
Yes, yeah.
But you know who else they could get rid of? Rozier, but I don't think Rozier should be thrown away. Because Rozier, see, as much as Rozier was a punk in that playoff game, I have a feeling it has nothing to do with Rozier. Because
I think
the playbook that JB uses is so basic.
Yeah.
Do you think that JB used a playbook? I don't think so. Huh? That guy doesn't have any system. There is no system, man.
No.
There's no system in that team.
Like, listen,
there's no system. Everybody's
the ball
VG.
and run.
Everybody's VG. So there's no system in that team. They are playing college.
Take the ball and run.
They're playing. I don't know if it's even high school basketball. I don't know. There's no system in that team.
You're right.
I've read a playbook before, even for any sport, like football, for example. I read a football playbook. So to understand a normal how the playbook works, you look at which players run a certain rotation, a certain way, and the problem with the Hornets is that JB's playbook, I've said it, it's basic. It's like when you're playing a game and there's beginner, but JB's playbook is put on rookie difficulty.
Yes, sir.
It's reset to rookie. So it's like instead of putting it to legendary or Hall of Fame, you're putting it to rookie, like very, very, very easy.
Man,
And it's so hard.
this comment has to be spoken because we talked about this on our last show, and this was right. If you watched that Indiana game, I believe it was, I don't know what game they tried to injure LaMelo. So I
Oh,
believe, and
It
James, you
was.
are 100% right.
the Clippers.
Yeah,
The
but no. There was another game after LaMelo came back. When he
Indiana.
came back, remember they clotheslined him.
the
Indiana.
Wizards.
Yeah.
The Wizards.
Was that Indiana?
Yes.
The Wizards.
Oh, the
The,
Wizards?
The Wizards. The
Oh,
Wizards.
yes. They tried to injure him on purpose. You know why? Because they didn't. Here's the thing. The funny thing is, if you listen to every other team talk, they say, excuse me, they say, we scout LaMelo Ball. We scout him. Every team says this. They don't say it about the Charlotte Hornets. They say, we scout LaMelo Ball. And I think all those comments are offensive to JB to where he wants to denigrate this kid's superiority on the court because he's jealous. That's my opinion.
problem.
There's
Will
no
keep
fact.
moving.
You have to protect your best player, the teammate to the coach.
Oh my
There's
god,
no hierarchy in that team. You know,
that's a fact.
everybody have to know his job and his role.
That's right.
Everybody's playing for himself.
Facts.
Everybody can come for another team and enjoy Lamelo without any
My
consequence.
brother. Like, let me explain why that is. It's JB. That one's on JB. As a coach, like Big J, you gotta jump in on this one because you've been a coach too before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So tell me, like, what's the duty of a coach on a team?
Man,
What's
listen.
he supposed to do?
What and James just say right there, you're not gonna hit my star player too many times. And let me tell you something. I coached the football game here in California one day, and this coach, man, sent his players after my players. Me and that coach ended up in the middle of the field. They had to come get us. My athletic director said, Johnson, look, man, your whole team then took off their gear and they're following you into battle. See, James Borrego, he wasn't about that. LaMelo Ball took a whooping all year. He never got tossed out of the game. He never went after the referees. If something happened to Tebe, then he got involved. But if something happened to LaMelo, not one time did he get kicked out of a game. That's why I lost respect for him because he did not have his players back. I'll get kicked off the game for my players, man, but people don't want to do that.
Exactly. Because you see, the thing is, there's more to that. You as the coach, you're supposed to set the precedent. Like I want a coach's perspective because I'm not sure if you agree to this. Like, shouldn't the coach be the one setting the precedent on what roles the player's supposed to play and what
100%.
like, because I don't understand. You as a coach, you're supposed to tell the player, hey, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, and that's your job. Why is it that all of a sudden, out of everybody, you're not like, oh, I only speak to Devontae, oh, he's coming off the bench now. And then that's it.
Because you got to look at this, Tafiq. You got to look at this, man.
Playmaker.
You got to understand, Tal. Watch this, man. When this coach set Devontae Graham in front of the entire team, and he sat next to LaMelo, he was sending LaMelo a message. I want you to be like this weak 5'7", 5'11" guy who we trained, who I developed, who can go out and hit 3-pointers, but he can't do anything else. He's a defensive liability. He's no threat in the interior paint. Why is he trying to get LaMelo to be like Devontae Graham? Like that one game I saw him touching LaMelo in the face. I'm like, man, I know LeVar is having a fit. You don't touch another man in the face.
Oh, I still remember.
What kind of stuff is that, D-Mac?
Devontae Graham needs to come off the bench. So does Terry Rozier. If Terry Rozier and Devontae Graham come off the bench, that's going to take the pressure off of them of having to perform and carry the team. And I believe they'll perform a lot better under those support roles. But as long as they keep trying to stick them in those roles to where they have to depend on them to be clutch in the close games, it's never gonna work
I
because
say,
they can't
come on,
operate under that pressure.
come
They
on,
can't
That
make
is
them role players.
the man.
come on.
The thing is, this offseason, they should let Devontae walk. And then they should put Rozier on the bench. And then they draft Josh Giddey.
Everything is about. Watch this, and you're right. Facts.
Josh
You're
Giddey
right.
height as LaMelo.
You're facts. You're right. But watch this. Like the comments are coming in and they're saying everything is about hurting Lamelo so you can give JB. And see, here's the thing: somebody needs to remove JB's side piece. I'm sorry, and I'm not being disrespectful at all. What I seen, I ain't gonna say what I saw. I'm not going to say what I saw one game. But Tebe gave him a 2-piece, and I'm not gonna say where. But I'm like, okay, something just like that. Hey, just like David F said, something's wrong with that picture. Something is really wrong because, hey, remove his side piece so he can focus on. It's like a jealous lover. I'm sorry, I gotta be real. It's like a jealous lover. Here's a new person who comes into the house. And what I gotta do, I gotta show my one that I love, I gotta show him all the respect so he won't feel bad. I see that as an overboard relationship. I'm sorry.
And the guy
That would
became
be
an
being
assistant
crossed.
coach. You know, Tebe is also an assistant coach. Sometimes I just see the game like that. I'm just disappointed because sometimes you see Tebe is not playing, but he's the assistant coach. He's telling Lamelo how to do. He's in front of the bench like that. He's coaching also with the coach. I say, what? What's the message that he's trying to send? I don't understand.
It's a relationship, man. I'm telling you. Look what N. James say. LaMelo is getting the Cam Newton like treatment by refs and the NBA. Also, they complain about Cam not being a traditional quarterback, saying Andrew Luck. Facts. Facts. Then watch this. Borrego letting Graham coach the team is really strange. Now watch this. Now look what King says. King C said, Big J, I was about to say the same thing. No one was stepping up for LaMelo. If his brother Jello was, it wouldn't be popping. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen.
It's lack an enforcer in the paint. They got too much puppies, minus Miles Bridges. They got too much puppies, and just two dogs.
Yep.
I said one.
It's the,
But they got two dogs, Miles Bridges and LaMelo. Everybody else is just puppies.
Yep.
it's the Allen Iverson syndrome. Man.
Exactly. All over again.
Miles
It's
Bridges
that-
is part of the team. Everybody,
why-
Yeah.
and the
That's why.
Alvarez
I'm
coach.
sorry. Yep. That's why AI Allen Iverson started having his boys come in the locker room. He started having. They were stealing his. People were stealing his jewelry,
Stealing
taking
his
stuff.
jewelry.
Yeah.
And you had so much scrutiny. That guy had so much scrutiny. Anything that he did was under the microscope. Same with LaMelo. Anything that he does is under the microscope, and that's why I always go back and watch old footage of Allen Iverson, and I see such a strong parallel concerning how the NBA is attacking this young man because he's not following their script. And
Hey,
so every time they do something to Melo, anytime I look back at Allen Iverson, man, you see how bad Iverson got banged up the
Yep.
first couple seasons, man. They tried to kill that little dude.
Oh yeah,
But he endured and he earned his respect, and he made them give him his respect.
But and James, watch this. Hold on. And James, not just Cam Newton. Jalen Hurts is about to go through the same thing too with the Philadelphia Eagles because his dad.
Mm.
Am I right, D-Mac?
Ooh, that's a good one.
He's
He
going to
better
go through the
watch out.
same thing too. And then there's another group of brothers who one is in the NFL already, one played for Stanford, and the other one played for USC. And that's the Amon-Ra brother, whose their dad used to be a world-renowned bodybuilder. They're going to go through the same thing. Why? Because these dads don't need the system. The system needs their son. And the issue is the system doesn't want the dad. They want the son so they can do a Kwame Brown to him.
They're so used to these boys not having their dads. They're used to dealing with moms. They're used to that's what they're used to. And so Whenever they have free range to be this father figure for these men that's coming into the league, they can manipulate them in so many different ways because these guys are letting down their guard. They're giving their trust to these authority figures, and they feel like these people have their best interests at heart. And we all know that's not the truth.
King C, I can't do DJ, man. So I'm not gonna try to sing it. Maybe Taufik will try to sing it.
Hey, baby.
I can't do it, man. So you did it good. You did it good, Tal. You did it good. No, man. So the thing is this, Doc. We want to thank all those on the panel tonight, man. You're welcome anytime. We want to thank all those who came and showed up in the room. You're amazing. We want to thank all those who gave a super chat or a super sticker for making this channel grow. We really appreciate you. Anybody with last words?
I'm going to end with that. Because of me, because of you, I am. Because of me, you are. We
Yes,
are.
sir. Yes, sir.
Ubuntu.
YT. What's that word you say, YT?
I say the same thing. Ubuntu.
Yes, sir. That's what it is. Got it. Say it again so I know how to say it.
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. Now I got it. All right. D-Mac, go
My
ahead,
last
man.
word, Borrego is a great assistant coach, and that's where they should put him.
Exactly.
Demoted.
Exactly. let's get Ann James' last words, and we're going to get a couple of other people. The racist fans and racist local media are the ones wanting Borrego to stay and to hurt LaMelo. The racist fans want Andrew Luck over Cam Newton, and they like weak Tay Baby over LaMelo. You got it, man, 100%. 100%. Then he also says the fans of the Hornets want Mitch and Borrego to go as well as do them to get rid of Tay Baby. You're 100%, Ed James. So what we're going to do, we're going to get out of here. Meet us next time. You're welcome to come on the panel, man. We got all kind of stuff set up. Everything that we get in the Super Chat memberships, it all goes back to the channel because we just want to show that we do appreciate you. And you know my last words always are be the best and the best you will become. Until next time, everyone have a great one.